Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday, the fun day. While I'm doing this podcast, you know, Sunday, December 23rd, 2018. Holy shit. How is everyone doing? I'm sorry, I apologize. I didn't do a podcast in a long time as I was going through some issues with my health, but I'm recovering now. It's not that I had cancer or one of those bullshits. Just some some stupid shit. As you can hear, my voice is not 100%, but it will be at some point in time. In near future, right? Yeah, so I think I'm 88 point something percent. So I don't want to go into details, although now I have to deal with, medical bills and insurance and all that bullshit. But in any case, again, I don't want to dwell into that, as I got a lot of shit that I want to cover. Shit and Shinola more than shit. How is everyone doing? I actually drove there yesterday. It was a Saturday. I worked for a few hours on my computer. I have set up the computer that was in my office, my home office. I set it up here while I was going through that bullshit with my health and all that, so I had to just lie down and then work on it. But I have set up the Mac Mini, because I had to work on the AutoCAD, and now I think I'm going to move that back to my home office, although I need a better chair, because I have one of those like chairs from IKEA, and that's not a really comfortable chair. I think I'll move one of the chairs from my office, because I have extra chairs there, so we'll see. So in any case, I was saying that I went to what they call the Cradle of Aviation Museum yesterday. In the afternoon, I booked not booked, but reserved a car to go. Okay, so this is what the fuck happened, right? So first I reserved a Maven. I don't know if you guys know, Maven is like one of those, like, not car to go, but it's a regular car rental, but you can, book it through their online app. And, you can go by the hour, and they charge you by the hour. Yeah, they charge you by the hour, as opposed to car to go, where they charge you by the minute. What is it, like fucking 41 cents per minute for a car to go? And I think it's $14 something per hour for Maven. But in any case, so I wanted to get there to see the museum, the aviation museum on Long Island, Garden City. I think it's East Garden City. So I wanted to get there by time, but then since I made the last minute decision to actually drive out there, so the only time that I could pick up Maven was at 3 o'clock, and it was an hour drive. So and Maven wasn't near where I live, so the garage was down there somewhere near Gowanus Canal. So I had to basically, if I had to walk, it would be like a 20 minutes walk, and I had to do like alchemist chores. I had to pick up my laundry from the laundromat on Livingston, and all that bullshit, so I was in a hurry. I'm like, fuck this shit. So I reserved the car to go, and I canceled the trip on Maven. I have both apps on my phone. But in any case, I drove out there, and as you can see, my my NASA cap, right? I bought it from there, Aviation Museum. It's a great museum if you want to check out the history of the aviation and also a little bit of space. Aviation, including the lunar module, and they have all those prototypes out there, and all the World War One, World War Two, all those planes and the fighter jets and all that. Apparently, Long Island was a big, hub for all these planes and aviation back in the days. So, yeah, so I drove out there. I briefly looked at all the museum, the whatever they had on display and all that. But in any case, so at night, I came back and I looked at Maven this morning, and they said that they were sending me an invoice for like fucking 3 hours. I'm like, I canceled it. So I think I had to call them tomorrow and find out why they're charging me $55 when I canceled it on time. It was ahead of time. So that's the bullshit that I had to deal with. Like, okay, I canceled it. I canceled the fucking trip. So why are you fucking charging me for that bullshit? But in any case, without ranting, it's already, it's like 6 minutes, and I can't go on and on. So I'm going to keep it brief and short and sweet. How is everyone doing? Did you guys miss me? Yeah, I missed doing the podcast, so I'm back, with my health and my body back in shape. So thanks to all of your well wishes and your support, especially my sister, who has been there for me always through times of my life, and also my friends and their well wishes, family, friends, my family. Although I haven't really told any of my family that I had to go through this. But in any case, it's kind of personal information, and I don't want to talk about that. So, yeah, how is your long weekend going? It's just Christmas and Sunday. My sister is doing something tomorrow, I think. So, I'm still on the diet. No salt, no sodium, which is actually good. I feel better because, the less salt is, even if you didn't have to go through some health issues with your body. It's actually better to just avoid fucking salt as much as you can. And also sugar. Sugar is one of the fucking killers, right? Besides the fucking prescription drugs and all that bullshit, right? I don't want to go on that rant, but yeah, so for tomorrow what I did was that I think I'm going to do a cooking video. So I already did a brief video in my kitchen, because I went to Key Foods, the grocery store, and I got that organic Cornish hen. So I marinated it and I put it in the fridge, and I'm going to grill it in my grilling pan that I got from IKEA. So I did a brief video on that marination. I'm going to complete the video tomorrow when I do the cooking. So yeah, look out for that in the next week or so when I upload it. Besides that, yeah, so I've been just working and just like cooking, because I've been trying to avoid cooking out because of my no salt, no sodium diet. But other than that, I can basically eat anything. Shellfish, the doctor told me I can't eat shellfish, which I don't anyway, so who gives a fucking shit, but I can eat anything. I don't eat spicy food, but I've been cooking a lot, so that's good. I've been cooking meals for lunch when I'm at work and etc., right? pasta, stews, chicken, lamb. And I also, for tonight, actually, I did some beans and some potatoes and some celery, like a stew kind of a thing. Some garlic and a little bit of herbs, It turned out really good with some lemon. Yeah, so, I've been working and just taking it easy, just taking it easy. I actually went to the park today. It was kind of cold, so I went to Swallow Cafe down on Atlantic Avenue. I got a small hot chocolate with some milk, and I poured a little bit of honey in that, and it was really good. So then I basically walked into the park, Brooklyn Bridge Park. I took some pictures of the downtown Manhattan skyline. The sunset, it was a little after sunset, but it was really beautiful. I actually took some pictures. And they actually turned out really good, I believe. Let me see. Pictures, right? Here we go. So the sunset, as you can see the sunset. It really turned out really good by East River, Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, so how is your week going, by the way? Your weekend? You're with the family, eating a lot of food, take it easy on the booze, etc., etc. No booze for me. Now it's about, I don't know, 45 days, maybe 50 days, actually over that. So last week I had a really busy week before the long weekend, and running around at work and etc., as always. The big thing is that if you are not in a healthy condition, everything becomes secondary. So now that I have recovered close to like 90%, I can basically do anything. I'm going to get on my, daily exercise and all that. My push-ups and my, daily exercise, every morning and in the evening. It's very important to have a healthy body. Very important. What else? So last week, Thursday, actually, I took my engineers out for holiday lunch, to keep the morale of the troops high. We went to this place. Where the hell did we go? On Stone Street. Oh, it's called Route 66. It's a barbecue place, smokehouse. The barbecue was okay, it was a lot of salt, so I had to be careful. But my engineers and my office manager, they liked it, and so there was a lot of food. And then same night, I had a commitment to go on a holiday dinner with my ex-colleagues in Midtown. It was nice to see them, and they were giving me all the wishes and, for my health and all that, and I really thanked them. Yeah, it was really nice to see them. We had some good food, although, Midtown, time of the holiday. The place was really fucking crowded, and then it was kind of raining, and in any case, and then Friday, I was working and running around picking up checks from my clients and all that. So you gotta hustle and all that. I had to run the payroll for my employees and pay the rent, pay the bills, etc., etc. The usual, right? Right. So I'm gonna be working Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we got the second long weekend for the New Year's, as you know. Take it easy on the partying, you all. I'm gonna just take it easy. Probably do something very low key, very low key. And yeah, that's about it. It's just gonna be busy with work and all that. And yeah, so that's my itinerary for the rest of the week. Um, what else? A lot of things are going on. Oh, by the way, did you guys hear about that fucking tsunami in Indonesia? What the fuck's going on with those countries, man? It was fucking Malaysia where the fucking two planes disappeared. Actually, one they found. I think I said that in one of my video podcasts, my YouTube video podcast, when it disappeared, but that I found it, and then all the crew and the passengers, they were all dead because it basically just crashed into the ocean. Where the fuck that ocean is, right? Malaysia, one of those. But in any case, so they have a big tsunami. Apparently, close like 300 people died. It's so fucked up. Natural disasters, etc. And I don't want to repeat myself, but I said this many times before that people who are in the range of these natural disasters, they need to get the fuck out of there. They know that it has happened before and it will happen again. So what the fuck, dude? Same thing in any natural disaster. Now California has a big problem with these fucking wildfires. It's going to be a disaster. We have these fucking hurricanes down in Caribbean and all that bullshit. Without going on that rant, yeah, so I've been also watching a lot of movies, late night movies. I get up not so early. I get up around like 10:30. I cook my 3 eggs, have my breakfast, my OJ, and then I go to work, or if it's a day off, I just work from home or just take it easy, And oh yeah, I've been watching Seinfeld, season, where the fuck it is, season 9 from the late 90s. So that show is a fucking funny show. Yeah, so I purchased it on Amazon. Fucking Amazon. You can basically purchase anything on Amazon. Any movies, any shows, any fucking. Amazon is going to fucking swallow us, swallow this whole fucking planet. I don't think so. It's just a fucking joke. But they are coming to New York, by the way, so they have that fucking big warehouse. It's going to be their headquarters on the East Coast, besides Virginia. I'm pretty sure you all New Yorkers, you liberals, are not so excited, and etc., etc. But every coin has a flip side, right? Right? For everyone to look at both sides of the coin without making any presumptive narrations or, assumptions. Did I say that right? Presumptions and then assumptions and where the fuck it is, right? Political motives, whatever the fuck it is, right? Yeah, so I always listen to, obviously, Bill Burr. He's a great guy, great comedian, and Joe Rogan. He does his own video podcast on YouTube. Everybody does a fucking video podcast, apparently, these days. And I think it's a good thing, because if you're doing your own podcast, you can basically talk about anything, without being obnoxious or, hurting anybody. You just talk about shit that you feel like you relate to in life and things that you want to talk about. For me, my life and my work and the things that I like, I feel related to, including technology, tech, and, space travel and, all that good stuff. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of movies, obviously I do, and then Seinfeld, and I'm probably going to download or buy one of those other shows. I don't know yet. Which show, I'm not sure yet, but I like the shows from the late 90s because, I was kind of like in my kind of mid 20s to late 20s in that period of the 20th century, right? The last decade of the 20th century. I don't know yet. I don't know what other show I'm going to watch, but I'm going to download that on Amazon. Yeah, besides that, I just, I'm taking it easy. Did I say that? Did I repeat myself? Yes. I've been drinking a little bit of coffee these days. Actually, I went to grocery store today and I bought one of those like coffee, those coffee containers. It says 97 point something percent decaf, which is good for me because I add a lot of water to it. So I'm not going to be an addict to coffee, but just a little bit of coffee apparently is good for your body. It's kind of an antioxidant. Is that what it is? Just like dark chocolate. But in any case, yeah. So I've been eating a lot of proteins because I need to rebuild my muscles again. I mean, I've been skinny all my life, but during this kind of like small health crisis I had, I lost a little bit of weight. So I have to eat a lot of proteins, which is good. Yeah, that's why I've been cooking a lot of meats and all that. So and I eat eggs and all that. So no, none of those. I have shakes. Actually, I bought those like Boost shakes, protein shakes. But those are like, I don't know, they have like whey protein in them, and I don't like whey protein. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's a little too much for my body, I think. But I'll try a little bit of that too. Yeah, so that's about it. It's already 22 minutes. I'm sorry, I don't have a cheat sheet, but I'm just going to talk about stuff, topics that I feel I should talk about on the fly, right? Oh, by the way, so I bought this humidifier, right, online from Amazon. So you had to pour water in there, turn it on, because the problem with that, I have these for heating. Obviously, it's a heating season. I have in my apartment, by the way. So I renewed the lease. I sent them the lease renew for next year, which they had sent me. The documents they had sent me a couple of weeks ago, which I signed and sent that to via the building super to the building management. So I'm going to be in this apartment for another year, which my new lease starts March 1st. So I still have like a couple of months in current lease, but I just wanted to get that out of the way, so I did that. What the hell I was talking about? I digressed. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, so I don't have a cheat sheet, but without going on and on about, we had some nice weather like a few days ago, although it was a little too wet. It was supposed to be like a rainstorm, but then it became an overcast on Friday. I remember my engineers and my office manager were texting me that they were taking the day off, but I did go to the office and I was telling them just an overcast, no rainstorm. You know how these fucking like weather channels and all these like weather weather men and women, how they predict. Oh, it's going to be a fucking rainstorm, so hoard as much as you can in terms of groceries, because then you won't be able to buy anything. No milk, no, no groceries, and it's bullshit. Come on, it's just a fucking rainstorm. Even if it's a rainstorm, which was not the case to begin with. But you know how we are, human beings. We take extra precautionary measures. For what? On the other hand, these third world countries, where tsunamis and all these natural disasters happen, they don't have any precautionary measures. It seems like that they take, given the number of casualties. I mean, I don't blame them. Sort of, I did blame them to be there when they knew that this was going to happen, given the statistics and the frequencies and all that, right? Just like we have a 1 in 100 years chance of having another fucking Sandy up in Northeast. Hopefully not. On the tech news, what's the news on the tech, by the way? I'm not a big tech guy, although I'm an engineer, but I do follow some of the news, on the tech news, yeah, so basically Elon Musk, Elon Musk, yo. So Elon Musk, apparently he did test his, Hyperloop tunnel. Apparently that was a test, a prototype Hyperloop tunnel that was built in Los Angeles over a mile, and CNBC, one of the reporters from CNBC, basically she hopped on the Hyperloop, in the Hyperloop. Is that how you say it? In the or on the? And so basically she was going crazy. Oh, and Elon Musk was laughing, and he was trying to calm her down, and he was saying that, come on, it's only like 30 miles per hour. Although it can go 100 miles per hour. So it's basically this narrow tunnel. You can look it up on YouTube. It's a very narrow tunnel where the car basically just goes, wheel to wheel. And you can actually go, it seems like you can actually go 100 miles per hour. So 100 miles per hour means, you could get to the LAX in no time, probably like 15 minutes from your house or where the fuck you are, right? As opposed to being stuck in that fucking traffic, the LA traffic, which is the worst. It's worse than any other fucking city, except for some portions of New York City, obviously, which are also like a fucking parking lot, and depending on the time you travel, right? So yeah, that's what he did, and I think that's going to be a reality, and that's very exciting for everybody who actually drive. I mean, if you're in California, you have to drive. There are no fucking bus. I mean, there are buses, there's public transportation, but it's so fucking spread out that it's going to take you like hours to get from point A to point B. So you're better off having a fucking car, even if it's a junk car that can get you from point A to point B, right? So hopefully that's going to be reality all over in this country, and that's very exciting. I think human beings, as you know, how they are so fucking afraid of like taking these steps. I was listening to NPR. They had this Radio Lab, the show on radio where they were talking about, colonizing Mars and what would be the first step if human beings land there. Apparently fungus, some sort of a fungus is actually immune to radiation, because Mars has a lot of radiation. So if you walk around like a fucking human being without any protection suit, the radiation is going to fucking kill you within seconds, right? But there's some fungus apparently which is resistant to radiation. So they were talking about doing that, and I mean, you guys can look it up yourself. But the point I'm trying to make is that the human beings, from leaving the jungles of Africa to leaving the caves, they have always been resistant to leaving their fucking caves. Some of them, but the other ones who are audacious, who are visionaries like Elon Musk and all these other people, who see the future beyond ordinary human eyes or human mind. I mean, for obvious things, like space travel and all that. And Hyperloop is something that Elon Musk came up with. It's kind of obvious, but at the same time, it's not obvious. It's obvious to talk about it, but it's not obvious to implement. So that's the thing. Just like human beings were back in the late 19th century, early 20th century, they were dreaming about, they're testing all kinds of shit, including like those bird wings to fly, and finally they did, and now we can fly into the fucking space. Finally, we're gonna go to Mars, but then there are people who would resist technology and etc. etc. But who fucking cares? I mean, we're not saying that we're gonna like stomp them by riding our, where the fuck it is, right? Our Millennium Falcons. I'm not saying that, but everybody's going to benefit from something like Hyperloop, And so that's a big tech news, and hopefully he will be able to convince all these big government agencies and transportation agencies to build these tunnels through his company, or I hope through his company, not through government agencies, because the government agencies are so fucking slow in terms of their pace and waste of money and all that, bullshit. So yeah, look it up, and obviously there's a lot of shit going on down in DC, which I don't want to talk about in terms of politics and all that bullshit. Yeah, so it's already 32 minutes, and I think I'm going to end my podcast. I apologize. It's not going to be an hour podcast, but I just wanted to, do this podcast after a long time, probably like a month and a half, I think. Although I did do a cooking video, which I had uploaded. And yeah, look out for that other cooking video that I'm going to do for tomorrow. Christmas Eve cooking. I'm going to be cooking here, and then I'm going to go to my sister's place. I think she's inviting some other people, although I'm not going to stay there for too long. And so that's my goal. And then I'm going to be working Wednesday, without repeating myself, but so I mean, there's not a lot of work is going to go on, although I'm going to be still working rest of the month. I mean, I'm talking about clients and all that, because many people are going to be on holidays until next year, which is 2019. Happy 2019! So make all your fucking New Year's resolutions. Make a list. Well, I mean, it's easy to make lists, but make sure to implement those. What the fuck you need to do. Stop smoking, or easy on the booze, or what the fuck you had to do, right? Or making a career goal, or whatever the hell it is, making $1 million. Everybody should be able to make a fucking $1 million, dude. What else? What else is going on? So yeah, I told you guys we had a nice weather a couple of days ago, but then now we're back to fucking like winter weather. So I had to keep the heater on, although it's not on now because it makes a little noise. while I'm doing my video podcast. So yeah, so I presume you all are having a great time, whether you are with the family or with your loved ones or beloved ones, or you get my point. Whether you are sleeping in your treehouse or where the hell you are, right? Have a great time and enjoy life. Stay warm if you're in New York, right? Yeah, I follow news on CNN.com. I have the app, the CNN app, the BBC app, the Wall Street Journal, and all that, plethora of apps. Although, I just try not to follow a lot of political news, although it's very hard to, just shun yourself from all that, nonsensical bullshit that goes on in politics and all that. But in any case, this is life, and this is the only planet we are on. Although I am being skeptical, I'm still positive, optimistic that in my lifetime, human beings will be landing on Mars. So there we go. What else? What else is the news? I mean, I don't know, man. A lot of shit's going on. Look it up. There's fucking CBS Sports. What's happening in the sports? But I haven't followed anything in terms of sports. I think all the sports is gone, especially in here in US until the fucking Super Bowl. Is that what it is in February? No fucking sports. Although I do follow some of the European leagues when it comes to soccer and a little bit of hockey. Canadians are really good at hockey, although some of the U.S. teams are good at that too. Although without pretending that I know any of that, I don't actually. I'm not gonna bullshit. When I'm back in shape, I think I'm gonna get back to playing squash at the New York Sports Club, which I'm gonna do without procrastinating. Procrastinating, is that what it is? Procrastinating. Sports is good for you. You had to sweat your body, and when you sweat, it just makes you feel good. And it makes you sleep well too at night, Any exercise is good. I don't want to make this podcast a bunch of or a list of exercise advices video. You know what I mean. So you are a conscious being, so I don't have to say anything on that one, although I did say what I had to say, right? If you're a fucking lazy bastard eating fucking McDonald's, those fucking triple burgers and, fries, and watching fucking bullshit TV shows and, being a couch potato, then good luck, man or woman or whatever gender associate you are. But life is more than that. And the life could be beyond all this bullshit. What the hell it is. I don't want to go into that because I don't know. I don't know any other higher dimensions. I haven't been into any other dimension. All I know is these three special dimensions, and time is the fourth dimension, yeah? Yeah, right? Yes. So I'm going to close out my podcast, and I'll see you all next time, and I will have my cheat sheet where I will talk about the topics that I will have in my cheat sheet ahead of time, I promise. And with that said, you all be well, enjoy your holidays, and I will see you all next time.